We turn now to the other side of that matchup with Coach Mike Norvell from Memphis. Tigers are 5-0 overall, 1-0 in the American Athletic Conference. They were in action Saturday at Louisiana Monroe. And Memphis won the game 52-33. And then, as we said, Tigers are on the road this Saturday at Temple, noon Eastern, 11 Central on ESPN2. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call. We just get your thoughts on the win out at ULM and what you expect to see as you're back on the road Saturday to take on Temple.
Yeah, proud of our football team. We were able to go through the non-conference schedule, undefeated. That's something that we always want to capitalize on the opportunities that we have, and that was one of our objectives to play well in non-conference play, and we were able to do that. And I thought the explosive plays in the game last week were critical. I thought special teams played at a very high level. We gave up some things there, defensively at times, but there at the end, I thought our guys responded well and were able to finish the game. And so we've got a lot of things we got to continue to improve on. We're coming back into conference play, and to go on the road, against what I believe is one of the best football teams in our conference. We know we've got a great challenge, but we're looking forward to the week of preparation, and it's going to be a heck of a matchup there on Saturday.
We'll take questions for Coach Mike Norvell, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
Thank you. We'll take our first question from Mark Narducci with the Philadelphia Inquirer. Please go ahead.
Coach, last week Temple used two quarterbacks. They brought in Todd Centeio for a series each half. As an opposing coach, how much more preparation does that take for you guys to kind of be ready for that?
Really for each game, whether it's, you always are going to prepare for the personnel that you see. And, obviously, whether if it's at the quarterback position, that plays a big role in things. But, you're always trying to break down strengths and weaknesses of the personnel that you see. And so, we'll have a plan as much as possible. But, at the end of the day, we've got to play our defense. We've got to be able to put together a plan of attack that's that we feel is going to put us in the best position to be successful. And really the personnel is always going to be somewhat interchangeable there throughout the game. And the fact that they have played multiple quarterbacks at times, we have to definitely be able to account for that.
Thank you.
We'll now take our next question from Chris Vanini with The Athletic. Please go ahead.
Hey, Mike, the league's got several ranked teams right now and some that are knocking on the door. You've been in this league for 4 years now. What do you make of the strength of it this year and just kind of the challenge of the overall depth?
Yeah, I think this is the best the league has been since I've been in it. And it's top to bottom. There's unbelievably talented teams. There's teams that have really come together and playing at a high level, really in all phases: offense, defense, and special teams. You look at the West Division, and in general, with what's going on down in Dallas with SMU, Tulane, obviously Houston and Navy, and then you saw the spark of what Tulsa. They come just one play really from having a big win there the other night. Obviously came up a little short, but our division is as good as it's been. Then you look on the other side, and what Cincinnati. Obviously, everybody knows UCF. This Temple team that we're playing this week. I mean, they've already beaten two schools one from the Big Ten, one from the ACC, and beat them pretty handily. And I mean, it's a great league. It's one that I think is continuing to get better, and we're definitely showing that here this year.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mike.
Thanks, sir.
We'll now take our next question from Steve McGargy with the Associated Press. Please go ahead.
Just wondering, first, what is it about Gainwell that's made him such an effective back for you this year? And also, I was just wondering, the backs you've had these last couple of years, Henderson, Pollard, Gainwell, Taylor, what is it about your program that's enabled y'all to kind of spot and develop talent at that position as well as y'all have?
Well, I mean, I think I'll start off with Kenny. I mean, he is a special talent. He's a young man that obviously can do great things with the ball in his hand as a tailback. But he's also he also has a great talent. If you split him out, being able to match him up in space. He's got great change of direction. Really good vision. He brings a toughness. For a guy that's not the biggest in the world. He's got a great toughness and mindset about him, and then he's an extremely hard worker, and that's something that really that group that you just talked about. The work ethic is for each of those guys is pretty special, and then this is an offense that we say it all the time. This offense is built for playmakers, and so we try to go out and identify guys that can come into this system, and that we can really formulate plans surrounding their talents and put them in a position to showcase them, whether it's handing the ball to them, obviously throwing the ball to them, but finding guys that want to be the all-inclusive type back that are willing to protect and do some of the dirty work, and that's what those guys have done, and we've been fortunate to get them, and then when we get them here, try to develop them and put them in a wonderful position.
And what's the timetable on Taylor at this point? Is it still with the injury?
Yeah, it's now it's getting closer to day. We'll see how he progresses along. Here in preparation for this week, but it's definitely getting close.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We'll now take our next question from Leo Haggerty with It's Sports Magazine. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Coach. Thanks for asking. Coach, on your offensive ready sheet, do you have a specific column with 2-point plays, or do you just go off the short yardage?
No, we have specific 2-point plays that we'll use. This year with the rule change of the fifth overtime, probably have more 2-point plays this year than what we've carried in the past. And if you ever get through those, and obviously the short yardage, kind of can play into it as well.
Coach, last question. Thank you for your time. With the redshirt rule now at 4 games, guy gets hurt in the beginning of the year. Its season's not over. You can kind of work around it. Do you have a plan for that, or is it all on a case-by-case basis?
I think it all plays case by case. You don't you never really know how it's all going to play out. When guys get hurt for an extensive period of time, you try to rehab them, and if they can get back and have an opportunity to play, obviously you'd like to do that. But on the flip side of it, there's so much that's unknown and unseen throughout the course of the season, and so you just kind of have to really play it by ear, case by case.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir.
We will now take our next question from Sean Pastor with Owls Daily. Please go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Watching you guys obviously over 4 years, think of like explosive plays, right? That's what always comes to mind with Memphis football. I just look particularly though at this year's opener against Ole Miss. You guys won that game, no explosive plays, and it looked like you churned out some drives. And I just wonder if you could sort of speak to either whether this group might be better or just the capability of this group to produce, without necessarily relying on huge plays.
Well, I think there's times that you have to be able to do both, and you got to be able to take what defenses are giving you. I think you look early in the season, our season opener. There were we had some missed opportunities. That was was our first game. We were starting four new offensive linemen at different positions. We had some youth at different spots, but I think we did what was necessary to win that game. We were able to establish a run, which was important, and then being able to control the clock, and in that game was critical for our success. And so from that point, we've been able to capitalize on some big plays throughout. I do think that we're improving, there offensively, and big plays are always going to be a part of what we do. But I think each game is gonna tend to lead one way or the other, depending on what the defense is willing to give, because we've got to be able to take what they're giving us and be able to go out there, be efficient, and execute.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Coach, thanks so much for your time this week. Look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.